fighting to survive in a local community. Dogfighting rings have been discovered throughout East Texas. We want to warn you, this story does contain some graphic information.
NBC6's Markel Sinnett joins us now live from studio control. Now, Markel, what did you find out about all this?
Well, Jackie and Nick, the Marshall Animal Shelter is overflowing with former fighting dogs. Shelter employees say overbreeding is a big problem in this community. But unfortunately, when the dogs end up at the shelter, they have to be euthanized.
This video was put together by an anti-dog fighting nonprofit group. This type of dogfighting is what happens in East Texas communities.
We have to be their voice because no one else is going to be.
That breaks your heart.
Elaine Slaughter has rescued dozens of dogs from the Marshall Animal Shelter.
But when you see a dog who's had his teeth ground down and can't chew his food because he's been used for a bait dog.
The vast majority of the fighting dogs in the shelter won't be adopted and will be euthanized.
I used to cry every time I came into the shelter because there were so many, and then I would cry when I left because I couldn't take them all with me.
Shelter staff members are overwhelmed with the numbers of fighting dogs who end up here.
You see the deep cuts and lacerations that are healing.
Genia Capps with Texas Star Rescue has saved hundreds of dogs who would have ended up dead. Halo is one of her most recent success stories. He was about to be euthanized at a shelter.
She had no hair. Her entire chest was just red, and when you touched her, she just oozed.
Missy is another dog she took in. Her hair is finally starting to grow in after months of abuse.
We see the aftermath or the throwaways.
And when this dog arrived at the center, its ears had been cut off.
When they're done with them, or if they start getting sick, they toss them to the side into a ditch.
But both of these women want more happy endings for these dogs.
They're resilient. I mean, these dogs have gone through way more than any human could ever experience, but yet you turn around and they're going to love you regardless.
The mayor of Marshall is trying to tackle this issue head on. He says it's hard for law enforcement because a lot of the dog fighting happens in remote areas. To hear the mayor's interview, visit our website, arklatex homepage.com. Back to you.
It's just heartbreaking.